Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents our final recap show of Season 1. I'll be reviewing the regular season, the statistical leaders, showing you the all HTFL team, and we'll do a playoff preview for you on top of that. So we have played the regular season, 256 games in the can. I think we televised something in the neighborhood of, I'd say, about 150 to 175 of them. I kind of slowed down during the tail end of the season and only did about 5 games a week. Before that, I did 10, and before that, I did all the games. So this is how the regular season ended. We had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We had 9 teams with 10 wins or more. We had a 9-7 team not make the playoffs. And I just real nope. I didn't make a mistake. On Denver and San Diego. San Diego won on points advantage. See, I just realized that now. San Diego made the playoffs. We had a 9-7 team not make the playoffs in Denver, and we had 7-9 teams make the playoffs in Indianapolis and Houston. You'll be seeing those games over the next 2 weeks. But let's show you the statistical leaders first, and we'll go through that over here on the right side of the screen. Y.A. Tittle came back and won the passing title with a 111.7 average, a rating of 111.7. Kurt Warner was the season leader, the season champion in yardage with 4,933 yards. Threw for 39 touchdowns, beat out Peyton Manning, who threw 38, and Jim Everett was the champion of throwing the fewest interceptions percentage at somewhere between zero point 0.2 and zero point 0.3. It shows up as zero point 0.2 on the game, but it doesn't go a farther decimal point. Jim Brown with 1,947 yards. It was the year of the running back in the HTFL. We had 29 running backs go over 1,000 yards, and almost one per team. Even Tampa Bay had Warwick Dunn getting 1,107 yards. Speaking of the last place team and who that is, let's just figure that out now. We had Arizona at minus 203 at 3-13, and they will get to pick first. They will get the number one pick in the draft. Yes, we're going to do a draft, and we'll explain how we do that in the off season. Tampa Bay was minus 106. Jacksonville was minus 113. So it'll be Arizona, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay will be the top 3 picks, and then after that it goes to the 5-11 teams. And let's see, Tennessee is minus 101. Detroit was minus 68. And yeah, it'll be the 4th pick will probably be Tennessee, unless I'm missing something here. But anyway, LaShawn McCoy, 355 attempts. He led the season. Jim Brown, a 6.2 average, 3/10 of a point clearer than D'Angelo Williams at 5.9, and he also had 22 touchdowns on the season. Julio Jones, with 91 catches, led all receivers. He also had the most yards at 1581. Paul Warfield had the most per catch at 21.4, and Isaac Bruce of St. Louis had 13 touchdowns. Defensively, Dave Brown and Larry Wilson will share the interceptions crown at 6. Kevin Green will be the sack master at 14. Zach Thomas of Miami had 147 tackles. Gino Marchetti of Baltimore with 23 hurries. Lawyer Molloy, 31 deflections. He led that category. Stuffs was led by Jordan of New Orleans with 18. Tom Brady had the most fumble recoveries with 8. Phillips of San Diego, the most forced fumbles at 10. And Lester Hayes led in opponent completion percentage with the low of 33.3. Dante Hall was the kick return champion at 30.8. Thomas Morstead, 47.1 gross punts and gross punting yardage and net punting yardage. Kern of Tennessee at 42.3. Billy White Shoes Johnson led in punt returns at 13.4. Zerline 129 points scoring, leading among kickers. Lindell of Buffalo, the field goal percentage king, at 86.7. Hall had 2,273 return yards, way over Eric Metcalf, who finished at 1824. Zerline and Carpenter of Miami, the kicker for the Dolphins, had 27 field goals. Morton Anderson and Rod Baronis hit 6 from 50. And to lead there. Now we'll look at the point averages. And I would say we had somewhere, without knowing, I'd say we had somewhere around 24 points a game scored by each team. Yeah, I'd say that was about right. About 24, 25 points was about the average. 31-6 was the best points per game output, and that was held by San Francisco, Cleveland, Baltimore, St. Louis, San Diego, the top five. In defense, Washington led at 18-9. San Francisco, number two, 19-5. So you could see why they were the number one team, at least going into the playoffs. San Francisco, Seattle, New England, and Philadelphia. So San Francisco was the only team to make the top five in each category. Now we're going to look at the awards. The the all HTFL team, I guess you could say, and I am going to. Well, this is kind of wide. I hope you all could see it. If not, just look a little closer into your screens, and I'll go through the first teams. And first, we'll mention the offensive and defensive MVP. Jim Brown won the Offensive MVP award for the Cleveland Browns. LaDainian Tomlinson was second and LaShawn McCoy third. Aaron Donald took the Defensive MVP for the Rams, followed by Ed Reed and Bobby Dillon. Vince Lombardi was the Coach of the Year. We'll go through the first team of the All HTFL. It was Jim Brown of Cleveland and LaDainian Tomlinson of San Diego would be in the hypothetical backfield. Julio Jones and Jerry Rice were the wide receivers. Drew Brees of New Orleans, the quarterback. The tight end Todd Christensen of Los Angeles. Mangold of New York. Hanna of New England. Delamere of Delamiel, it says here, of Buffalo. I don't think that's Joe Delamere. I think that's Delamiel. He was the pick for center. Jonathan Ogden and Anthony Munoz were the picks for the offensive tackles. Front four of the all-defense team on the HTFL. J.J. Watt, Alan Page, Aaron Donald, Charles Haley, Willis, Miller, and Taylor. Lawrence Taylor from the Giants would make up the linebacking core, even though the Giants played a 3-4 all year. Williams, Hudson made it as a corner. Reed and Dillon would be the defensive backfield. So interesting that Hudson made it as a defender and not as a receiver. Zerline would be the kicker, Kern would be the punter, Dante Hall and John Taylor would be the return men, Hall doing kickoffs and John Taylor doing punts. So, let's set the stage for you for the first round of the playoffs, which we are going to do over 2 weeks, thanks to Christmas, and Christmas falling on a Friday this year. We're going to get 4 games in each week, and then when we come back for the new year, we'll do the quarterfinal round and then the semis and finals the following week. Here's how it will look. On Monday, on the day that this recap show will air, we'll have Baltimore and Cleveland at 7:30. Minnesota and Green Bay will follow on Tuesday night. These are all rematches. These teams, 6 of these 8 teams have already played each other twice. 3 of the 8 games, Minnesota, Green Bay, New England, New York, and Houston, New Orleans, are all Week 1 games. So that's kind of interesting. And when we get out of this round, it should be a little more interesting. New England, New York will be Wednesday, the 23rd. We'll get the Washington-Dallas game up probably by about 1 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Give you all a little more time to watch that. Then we come back the following Monday, Carolina and Indianapolis in one of the Southern playoffs. We're going to do the 2 seed against the 3 seed first, and then the 1 seed against the 4 seed second. That's why you're going to see Houston and New Orleans on Tuesday the 29th. Kansas City and LA. This is the only division where we're having first-time matchups in the first round. That'll be on the 30th, and then New Year's Eve, we'll try to get the game up by 1 o'clock so you could all see it. San Diego and San Francisco. So that's been the recap show. Hope you enjoyed it. Didn't take very long to do this time because we had no games to recap for you. This has been Big Paulie. Wishing you well, Godspeed, and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. And bye bye for now, everybody.